One of the most fascinating things about watching comic book speculation and investing content is checking out the hot lists, like the Key Collector Trending 20, the top 10 list, all that kind of stuff. Tracking those lists, you definitely find some trends. One of those trends that I found is that some of those comic books don't seem like good investments to me. In fact, they seem like better times to sell those comic books than to buy those comic books. Hi, I'm Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and in this series of videos, I pick the 5 worst investments from those lists and I talk about them. And not only that, I also track the values of those comic books 6 months and 1 year later down the road. So here's this week's top 5 not to buy. Landing at the number 5 slot, we have Berserker number 1. According to Key Collector, this book is doing really well with a 115% increase in sales, which is kind of a meaningless number because we don't know exactly what that means as far as velocity of the books moving, but we can only speculate this is due to ongoing news of the movie coming out, and I'm sure that's going to be the next John Wick, right? That's certainly going to be a huge movie series. It's going to have dozens of entries and drive this book to insane proportions. If that sounds like I'm being sarcastic, it's because I am, and the reason why is because that's what would have to happen in order for this book to truly take off, because it came out during the height of the COVID comic book speculation boom, which means it was massively printed with a lot of chase ratios, signed by Keanu Reeves, all these kind of crazy things. There were tons and tons and tons of these books out there, and that's why it lands on the list this week. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have Amazing Spider-Man 21. This is the 1 in 100 black and white variant, which is a Hulk homage using Disney characters. This isn't the first book we've seen kind of have that Disney-fied type of homage variant, and those books did take off last time, so it's natural that we would think that this book will as well. And it has a little bit, but I bet you that will be a short-term bump in this book's history of pricing because it's something that a few collectors are going to want to hold on to, and a lot of collectors are going to want to try to make some money on. It was more heavily ordered because people knew that these books were kind of hot when they came out last time, and so I think supply is definitely going to outpace demand in the long run. Number 3 on the list, we have Punisher number 1 from the latest series where he takes over the Hand, and that's a big reason why I think this book is not going to be a winner. There's a lot of kind of underground speculation that, oh, well, when the Punisher comes back, he's going to use this new logo on his chest, he's going to have the hand under his belt, because that's why he has that logo on his chest, right? Well, why would Disney bring Punisher back after kind of basically wiping away the Netflix stuff and have us know who the Hand is, let alone have Punisher have any relation to the Hand? Maybe that's the story we'll see, but I think we'll see it telegraphed very early. And he's going to come back with his classic look. There's just no way they're going to bring him back in any other way because that's what's iconic and that's what's going to get people interested in the show. So that's why it lands on the list this week for me. I think, Punisher's a very cool character, but there's a lot of other Punisher books I'd be looking at right now over this one. At the number 2 spot on the list, we have Dr. Afro 19. This is the Sprouse Lucasfilm Anniversary variant, which is the first cover appearance of Bo-Katan Kryze. Bo-Katan Kryze is playing a huge role over in The Mandalorian right now. That character has been in and out of Star Wars television shows for a long time with the Clone Wars and The Mandalorian, but the character is obviously a major part of the ongoing story in The Mandalorian right now. But I think Bo-Katan is a kind of divisive character. There's a lot of people that don't like her intentions or her plans. I think she's pretty cool. I love Katie Sackhoff. I love seeing this character. I'm not saying it's not a flawed character. It definitely is, but I think it's enjoyable. At the same time, her first cover appearance to me isn't that big of a deal. In fact, I saw not that long ago that her first appearance in a comic book, which is a hard to find comic book, actually sold for way less than FMV, and that was kind of after she came back in the Mandalorian show. I have a feeling that general interest in this character is down, and so I don't think that her first cover appearance, which is a cheap book that a lot of people ordered, is really going to be something that is going to hold long-term value, and that's why it lands on the list this week. And the final spot on the list is actually a major book. This is ASM 298. That's a cool book. It's first Todd McFarlane on Amazing Spider-Man, and the biggest reason that it's on the list this week is because of a David McLiney signing coming to CGC. So Key Collector is here saying that people are going to pick this book up. And this is exactly why Key Collector is a good list of books to sell, not to buy, if you're trying to maximize your return on investment, because people are going to buy this book to send into the signing. I agree with that. What I don't agree with is that this is going to hold any kind of long-term value for collectors or speculators because of the David McLiney signing. I just don't see that happening. What I do see happening is this book returning back to its normal trend after that signing has taken place, and you'll be able to buy it for less than it's going for this week. So why not wait, hold off, and buy the book? It's a great book. I definitely recommend adding one to your collection if it's something that you're interested in, but I wouldn't recommend doing it this week when other people are potentially looking for it, which is going to drive up the price. All the signing books come back, and then people might want to try to flip those books, and then you might be able to pick up a nice raw copy, or get, if there's a lot of those, maybe pick up a cheaper version of the signed book. That's my advice on this one, and it's why it lands on the #1 spot on the top 5 not to buy this week. So do you use Key Collector Trending 20 or CBSI Hot 10 or any of these lists to speculate on comic books? If you do, let me know how you use them in the comments down below. And on the way down to the comments, you'll pass the description, which has the join button, and that's how all the channel members you see appearing on screen right now joined my channel and got access to some special perks. If you want to support the channel, that's a way you could do it. I appreciate it if you do. If not, I appreciate you just watching the videos too. Thank you so much for that. And until next time, I want to remind you, as always, hey, 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 hey. Read comics every day.